Hello, dear friend, and welcome. My name is Owen Thorne, and I'm here to guide you into a place of soft warmth and gentle stillness. In just a moment, you'll find yourself stepping into a serene evening where a crackling fire glows and a feeling of quiet wonder surrounds you. For now, settle in and let the day's busyness drift away. Take a slow, steady breath and exhale the weight of your cares. Feel your shoulders sink and soften. Notice the small comfort that begins in the center of your chest and radiates outward, inviting you to rest. The story we're about to share will whisk you into a cozy, mystical world. A world where a soft firelight, ancient wisdom, and a guardian of knowledge named Athena await, ready to enfold you in gentle magic. Take another deep breath, inhaling calmness and exhaling all the little worries. As you lie back, close your eyes if you wish, and imagine the gentle flicker of firelight dancing across a quiet room. The scent of seasoned wood smoke fills the air, its warmth a promise that you are safe, cared for, and free from strain. Each steady breath eases you deeper into relaxation, your body loosening, as if surrendering to a tender lullaby that hums around you. Now is the time to set aside your to-do lists and let the swirl of thoughts float past like small clouds in a wide, luminous sky. You may already sense the hush of night wrapping around you like a soft, comforting blanket. There is only the gentle glow of story and imagination before you. No pressure, no expectations. Breathe in slowly once more, letting go of tension. Soon, you will drift into a tale that unfolds without hurry, as though each word were a careful step through a lightly wooded glen. With each breath, you prepare to surrender to a realm of restfulness, guided by the whisper of a hearth fire that beckons you onward. And as you exhale, let your entire self relax into the serenity of this moment. It began on a tranquil evening in a land where twilight stretched across rolling hills, and the stars began their evening dance in the blue-violet sky. In a quiet stone cottage tucked beside an ancient forest, a single window glowed with the gentle gold of lamplight. Soft smoke curled from a tall chimney, rising into the starlit canopy, as if carrying an invitation for anyone who longed for the warmth of friendship and story. Within those sturdy walls, a woman named Athena sat upon a plush armchair. Her hair was dark, woven through with ribbons of silver, and her eyes shone with a timeless wisdom. She was often called upon in this land for counsel and comfort, for she carried a warm spirit and a keen insight into both the simplest and the deepest of life's mysteries. Tonight, Athena's hearth crackled with soft flames, dancing merrily over perfectly stacked logs. The fire's glow revealed shelves lined with thick, leather-bound books, each brimming with tales and secrets from ages long past. The low table beside her chair held a teapot of fragrant herbal brew, the steam curling upward in whimsical shapes. At her feet, a small tabby cat dozed, tail occasionally flicking, as though unconsciously chasing dreams. The room itself was a haven of comfort. Plush rugs strewn about, a wide wooden desk adorned with a modest lantern, and walls that bore the gentle colour of warm honey. A gentle hush settled outside. Beyond the cottage's walls, the wind in the forest let out a quiet sigh, rustling leaves like a lullaby. Moonlight seeped in through the window, mingling with the soft glow of the fire and adding a graceful shimmer to the cosy interior. The forest that embraced the cottage was ancient, its trees tall and wise, known to whisper in the wind of stories from centuries gone. And on this particular evening, in a clearing deep among those towering trunks, the air carried a sense of calm anticipation, as if it waited for something wonderful to unfold. Athena, ever attuned to the rhythms of nature and magic, set her teacup down and glanced toward the window. Shadows from the dancing flames rippled over her face, giving her expression a tranquil kindness. She felt the stirring of a gentle presence near the edge of the forest, and though she remained seated, her posture hinted that she was ready to greet whatever visitor might come seeking the glow of her hearth. Outside, a quiet traveller emerged from among the trees. Drawn by the faint smell of smoke and the promise of rest, they walked the winding path that led toward Athena's cottage. The traveller carried no burdensome load, merely a soft cloak and a lightness of step that suggested a willingness to find solace in peaceful company. As they drew closer, they saw the golden light flickering through the cottage window and felt an unspoken invitation calling them forward. The path was lined with mossy stones, gently illuminated by shimmering moonbeams that filtered through the forest canopy. The breeze carried the soothing aroma of pine and damp earth. Ferns swayed quietly, and tiny fireflies began to appear, weaving their own soft radiance into the hush of night. At last, the traveller approached the low wooden door and knocked, the sound barely a whisper against the hush that cradled the forest. Athena rose gracefully to open the door, greeting the traveller with a smile. The warmth from her hearth spilled outward, wrapping the visitor in comfort, even before a word was spoken. She stepped aside, offering a silent welcome into this refuge. The traveller entered, and the door gently closed behind them with a soft click, sealing out the cool night air. Inside, the traveller was enveloped by a gentle warmth and the subtle fragrance of herbal tea and burning logs. They noted the many books that lined the walls and felt at once curious and lulled by the sense of centuries of knowledge resting gently in this space. The tabby cat stirred, blinking drowsily, then resumed its pleasant slumber. Athena gestured toward a second armchair, inviting the traveller to sit. She poured a cup of tea, the soft steam floating like a playful spirit in the flickering glow. "There is no hurry," she said, her voice as soothing as a lullaby. "Rest as long as you need. May this evening be a gentle pause in your journey." The traveller settled into the comfortable seat, the tension in their muscles gradually easing, as though lulled by the presence of a gracious host who asked for nothing except their well-being. For a while, they sat in companionable silence, sharing the simple delight of the fire's gentle crackle and the hush of the surrounding night. The forest outside seemed content to remain still, as if it, too, were leaning in to listen. From time to time, Athena's gaze drifted to the tall shelves of books, her mind alive with tales to share. She could sense that the traveller was open to a story or two, something calm and wise, the kind of story that nourishes the spirit. When the moment felt right, Athena lifted her teacup and closed her eyes for a moment, as though to sip from a deep well of memory. Then, in a voice reminiscent of soft wind through ancient branches, she began to speak. She shared the story of a hidden library far beyond the forest, rumoured to house the oldest volumes in the realm, each page imbued with a gentle magic that could soothe any sorrow. It was said that in this hidden library, each visitor found the very knowledge or comfort they needed most, though they never quite knew how the books chose them. As Athena spoke, the traveller felt their mind drift like a leaf upon a slow-moving current. The descriptive words of old tomes and secret knowledge lulled them further. They could almost smell the parchment, could nearly feel the hush of centuries resting in those corridors lined with stories. And through it all, Athena's gentle tone wove a sense of calm anticipation, guiding the listener into deeper relaxation rather than rousing excitement. Now and then, the glowing embers in the hearth shifted, sending out a soft pop that momentarily illuminated Athena's thoughtful face. Shadows danced along the walls as she continued, her words quiet and unhurried, as though the story itself was in no rush to be told. The traveller's eyelids grew heavy with the sort of drowsy interest that comes when nothing urgent demands attention. The tale meandered like a gentle stream, describing the library's high-arched windows and the tapestry-covered alcoves where visitors could doze in plush chairs, lost in the hush of reading. Rumour had it that a wise old caretaker tended the space, appearing just when a wandering soul needed guidance. Athena's voice was steady and low, her pacing measured, lulling the traveller into a state of serene receptivity. Now and again, Athena paused to sip her tea, letting the story's images swirl in the traveller's mind. Between the lines of her gentle narrative, the traveller felt the flicker of deeper truths about knowledge and rest, about seeking and finding, about the simple comfort that arises when one is free to wander a quiet realm of possibility. Outside, a faint breeze brushed the trees, as though the forest itself were an attentive listener, equally soothed by the steady cadence of Athena's words. As the evening wore on, the moon rose higher, painting the world beyond the window in soft silver. The forest glowed beneath its light, each tree trunk cast in gentle shadow, while the cottage remained a cocoon of warmth. The traveller's eyes occasionally wandered toward the frosted glass panes, where the silhouette of tall pines seemed to stand guard, ensuring that no unwanted disturbance would breach this sanctuary of rest. The story flowed on like a lullaby, leading the traveller through the corridors of that imaginary library, describing the hush of turning pages, the quiet thrill of opening a book to discover a passage that felt written just for them. Athena recounted the caretaker's gentle presence, the subtle guidance offered without words, and how each visitor left feeling more whole, more at peace than when they arrived. Eventually, Athena's tale circled back to her own cottage, suggesting that perhaps a spark of that library's magic lived on in this cozy haven too. The traveller glanced at the shelves around them, noticing volumes with titles that hinted at grand myths, tales of long-forgotten lands, and comforting stories of hearth and home. Each spine seemed to glow a little in the fire's light, silently inviting exploration. In the quiet that followed, Athena reached for a small velvet pouch on a nearby table. She pulled out a tiny round stone, etched with what looked like an ancient symbol, a gentle swirl reminiscent of a breeze or a slow current of water. "I found this many years ago, hidden in the corner of one of those forgotten corridors," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "It reminds me that wisdom has a way of finding us wherever we are, and that gentle magic often lives just around the corner." She placed the stone in the traveller's hand, letting them feel its cool, smooth surface. For a moment, the traveller sensed a faint warmth emanating from the etching. Then came a soft wave of reassurance, a feeling that all was well, and that, with each breath, they were sinking ever deeper into calm. The traveller closed their eyes, a quiet smile forming, as if lulled by the knowledge that wisdom flowed through every moment of life, even the still ones. Time drifted onward like a feather on a breeze. The fire in the hearth settled into a bed of glowing embers, each warm cinder a steady heartbeat of comfort. Athena stood, moving gracefully across the room, and fetched another log, placing it gently on the fire. Sparks rose, twirling in a dance that illuminated her serene face. She gazed at the traveller kindly and returned to her seat. In the hush that fell between them, the visitor's eyelids grew heavier. They listened to the quiet crackle of flames, the subtle whisper of the wind outside, and the gentle purr of the dozing cat. Every so often, the cat stretched and turned, finding new warmth closer to the hearth. The traveller felt a sense of deep safety, of belonging to a moment that asked for nothing but gentle surrender. Looking upon the traveller, Athena sensed that they might benefit from another story, one that spoke not just of knowledge, but of the comforting presence of home and hearth. And so, she began again, this time speaking of a far-off cottage perched by a shimmering lake. The waters there were said to reflect the colour of the sky so perfectly that at dawn and dusk, the lake became a mirror for sunrises and sunsets. In the evenings, a kind family would gather in a well-worn living room, their laughter echoing as they shared simple meals and told old folk tales. The traveller's mind wandered with the imagery, drifting across placid waters, warm gatherings, and the hush of twilight that always came as a blessing at the end of the day. Athena's narrative unspooled like a gentle thread, weaving comfort and nostalgia into every sentence. She spoke of a quiet child who found solace in tracing the patterns of constellations across the night sky, and of the subtle wisdom gleaned from noticing how each star, no matter how small, contributed to the tapestry of light overhead. She described the crackle of logs in a stone fireplace, how their glow could soothe the most anxious heart, and how, in that cozy cottage, every guest felt free to simply be. As she spoke, the traveller felt the story merge with the gentle environment of Athena's own home. The faint sense of wood smoke and herbal tea, the hush of midnight, and the graceful presence of Athena herself, all wove together in a comforting lull. Outside, the moon continued its passage across the sky, and the forest remained quiet, standing as a guardian of this peaceful night. Eventually, the tale drifted to a soft conclusion. Athena let silence settle, allowing the images of the shimmering lake, the star-speckled sky, and the welcoming hearth to linger in the traveller's thoughts like the calming echo of a favourite lullaby. The cat stirred once more, stretching its paws in a lazy greeting to the hush that surrounded them. The traveller's eyes fluttered, their breathing slow and steady, as though their entire being now resonated with the tranquil pace of this mystical evening. A gentle breeze brushed against the cottage walls, causing a slight sway in the trees. Athena glanced toward the window and quietly rose. She took a thick, comforting blanket from a small chest in the corner and draped it over the traveller's legs. The traveller sank deeper into the chair, letting a sigh of relief escape, as though any remaining tension had finally slipped away. With the hearth still glowing, the shadows on the walls seemed to dance slower now, in harmony with the traveller's drowsy heartbeat. Athena tidied the small table, setting aside the empty teacups, moving in slow, deliberate motions that added to the evening's unhurried grace. As she placed the cups in the sink, she hummed a gentle tune, a lilting melody that reminded the traveller of night-blooming flowers and the rustle of leaves under starlight. The small cat rose to investigate, weaving around Athena's ankles before hopping softly onto a windowsill to peer into the night. The traveller's gaze followed the cat, taking in the quiet view outside. The silhouettes of ancient pines, a soft glow of moonbeams dancing between their branches, and a faint shimmer on the horizon, hinting at the meeting of forest and meadow. One could almost imagine that the entire realm slept in peaceful unity, united under the calm hush of night. Returning from the sink, Athena reclaimed her seat. Her expression was kind and restful, reflecting a peaceful acceptance of life's cycles. Day to night, wakefulness to slumber, questions to answers that arrive in their own time. She spoke again, softly, though more gently now, as if her words themselves floated on the edge of dream. She spoke of twilight horizons, of watching the stars appear one by one until they formed patterns that guided travellers across unknown lands. She reminded the visitor that each star, though far away, offered its light freely, just as the hearth offered warmth in this little cottage. The traveller felt an inner glow, a gentle expansion in their chest as they listened. They began to notice a sense of enveloping calm, as though the hush of ancient forests and kindled fires was something that could be held within forever. Their limbs grew pleasantly heavy, their mind drifting in and out of subtle visions, a library hidden in time, a glimmering lake, a starry sky, and now this cottage with Athena's wise presence. All these images melded into a soft tapestry of contentment, guiding the traveller closer to rest. In the long pause that followed, the night grew deeper. The embers settled into a low, ruby glow, releasing the occasional comforting pop. Outside, the breeze was scarcely more than a whisper, and the cat on the windowsill blinked sleepily, eventually curling up into a cozy ball. Even the forest seemed to hush further, as if to cradle the cottage in a womb of complete tranquility. After a while, Athena rose and gently dimmed the lantern. Its light dwindled to a faint glow that mingled with the soft flicker of the remaining embers. She looked upon the traveller, now nearly dozing, and offered a gentle smile, a silent assurance that all was well and that this space would remain safe throughout the night. She made no further sound, but her presence was enough, like a guardian of the evening, a keeper of calm. Now, in this final drift of the evening story, let the hush settle around you like a warm cloak. Feel the soft heaviness in your limbs, the steady rhythm of your breath. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere else to be, and no demands on your time. Your mind is free to float between wakefulness and the realms of sleep, carried by the gentle glow of embers and the memory of whispered tales. Allow your breath to slow even further, becoming a gentle tide that lulls you deeper into rest. With each exhalation, release any lingering tension. Let your shoulders sink and your jaw loosen. Let your thoughts become feather-light, drifting where they will without resistance. The warm presence of Athena's cottage remains around you, a glowing sanctuary that follows you into the dream world. In your mind's eye, you may picture the cottage door softly closing against the night, sealing in the tranquility of the moment. Or perhaps you see the last sparks floating up the chimney, tiny stars of fire merging with the vast sky beyond. Each image soothes, each memory of the story lulls, guiding you gently, kindly, into a realm of deep, healing slumber. Now, dear traveller, let your eyelids be as heavy as they wish to be. Let all concerns melt away into the calm hush of night. This is your time of rest, a pause from the day's commotion, a well-deserved moment of deep peace. Feel the softness of your bedding beneath you, the comforting weight of your blanket. Sense the gentle rise and fall of your chest, each breath a reminder that you are safe, you are quiet, and you are free to let go. May your dreams be touched by the glow of a hearth, the peaceful hush of an ancient forest, and the kind wisdom of a gentle companion. If you wish, let the memory of Athena's soothing presence guide you into the deeper realms of restorative sleep, the night will watch over you, just as the trees and moon stand guard outside that cozy little cottage in the story. There is only calm. There is only warmth. There is only the kind softness of this moment. Good night, dear traveller. Sleep well. May peace and warmth cradle you until morning's gentle light calls you back again.